Hi, I'm Sari. I'm the founder for HighOh. I bet this is your first time knowing who is the person behind the HighOh brand. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for purchasing our HighOh menstrual pads. And we will be producing another new line which is called the boob tape. Hope you can support us. Alright, let's start connecting with you through my little story. I believe you have read our little story, the 1 or 2 line story through Amazon and ilovehio.com, our website. So basically, let's start with that, alright? So what happened is that I do not come from a wealthy family. In fact, it's from a below average. My dad works 3 jobs when I was young. He works really a lot. My mom is a housewife, alright? So what happens is that because our financial background is not that well to do, there were many things that we couldn't afford. It was really ridiculous to the extent that even female hygiene products, we couldn't afford it. So what happened was we had several solutions to solve our female hygiene products, alright? At the time we were so poor that we couldn't afford female hygiene products. The only way we would save on our female hygiene products is practically using toilet paper. Yes, like really toilet paper. We were taught by our mom that it's just toilet paper and we'll fold it. So we will make it really thick so that it will absorb the menstrual blood. So as a kid, we thought like, oh, okay, so this is the way to save money. So we will make a lot and bring it to school. I could remember exactly it was when I was having an exam, and we will have this table, right, where we could put our things below our exam hall. So what happened was I was putting a bag full of toilet paper, right? So from there, I will put the bag of menstrual products, which is of toilet paper, and then when I was about to, change out, I will take out one of it and then put under the table, and then after that, I will head to the toilet to change out, you see. Apparently, they found out that actually I use toilet paper for menstrual products, and I was actually being laughed at because they felt that menstrual products out there is very cheap and everybody could afford it. But at the time, because of my financial background, I couldn't afford menstrual products. So yeah, so I was being laughed at, like why would me, Sari, would use toilet paper for menstrual product? It's very ridiculous, it's very unhygienic. But we couldn't afford it. There was no choice to really solve the problem. So the whole class was laughing at me because I was using toilet paper instead of pads or tampons for during my menstrual cycle, you see. So they thought that everybody could afford menstrual products, but sadly no. So at that point of time, I just ignored them and just continue using toilet paper because I couldn't find a proper solution or better solution than toilet paper. Toilet paper is in the public, you can use anytime, anywhere, and it's free. But at that point of time, I didn't thought of it much. But here's the problem. Once I started to use the toilet paper, I started to realize that my menstrual cramps get even worse. My menstrual cramps were so painful that I had to do. Two of my classmates actually had to bring me to the sick bay, and really just to sleep. And sometimes I will eat like those pills, like Panadol pills to help me to relieve the pain. At first, it was just one when I started out, and as time goes by, it was literally 6 during the first day of my menstrual period. And this continued on. I thought that was pretty normal, to have menstrual cramps. Maybe I drank too much cold water. So what happened next is during high school, I started to learn home econs. Basically, you learn about how to sew, how to cook. So at that point of time, I was very interested in home econs, especially the sewing and the cooking part. And I learned how to sew from there. I learned about different fabrics and how to create different dresses, small pouches, small bags. And that's when I started to have an idea of creating my own menstrual pads. So what happened was one day, my mom actually brought back a piece of very large fabric. It was actually grey color fabric. So she explained to me further regarding the charcoal bamboo fiber fabric, and I was really surprised. So I decided to use one of the part of the fabric and use for menstrual pads. And yeah, it works. But the thing is, I was lacking of funds to create new menstrual pads for myself. So what happened was I actually asked my mom, why not you bring more charcoal bamboo fiber fabric, which she was given by her friend, and I will just create more menstrual pads for myself. So when I created these menstrual pads, right, my sister requested for it, and we realized that it really greatly reduced menstrual cramps. It reduced to 4 painkillers, and as time goes by, I only needed like 2 or 1 painkillers, and I felt like, whoa, does it mean I created something? So what happened was, I started using throughout high school and all the way to college. So my sister told me that why not we sell this online, because it seems to be a positive response. But because of what happened when I was 11 or 12 years old, I wasn't really interested in getting the idea to sell it online. So I decided to sell clothes. I sold clothes before. And here's the worst part, what happened actually. So at 2017, my friend and I decided to do a business, and we lost really a lot of money. I don't really mention it because it was really the darkest point of time in my life. I invested all my savings that I did when I was being a tuition teacher. I was also doing a sideline, selling clothes. All my savings were in it. It was gone within a night. It was gone. And at a point of time, the worst part was I gathered investors, and it was a total about 1.2 million. So I really lost everything because the investors were my friends. So at that point of time, it was the darkest period of my time. And no one could help me out, even my sister, because I had police involved in this case. Friends were all gone. They didn't trust me. They called me a lot of different names. They come up with different conspiracy theories. And at the point of time, my ex-boyfriend didn't help out as much. In fact, I was verbal abused. And yeah, at the time, God could only save me. And I was thinking like, what should I do now, since I have zero, like literally nothing. And yeah, so I decided like, since this is the worst point in my life, what could get any worse, right? So I decided to start an online business. So because since I had experience in selling clothes online, and I decided to, start selling products online, and I didn't know what products. At one time, I was like selling like toys and some like male grooming kit, like for beard. Then I decided like, hey, why not I start with my reusable menstrual pads? And I was like thinking like, since I had really nothing, beggars can't choose, and I decided to, just sell it online. And apparently it was a very positive response, and I realized that I wasn't being alone out there. And yeah, I started to sell more. I started with medium period starter kit, and then apparently there were customers that were very happy with it. I was really shocked. So I was thinking like, hey, this is the real deal. I started to be more interested in engage in my customers. Their customers were very happy with it, and then we decided to head to large overnight pads because apparently there were customers talking about it, and yeah, it just head on from there. And I just felt that this is something I should share with you, because at a point of time when I was in 2017 to 2018, no one was there. Yeah, sure. My dad was there, but he could only give moral support. So it was really bad, and I could remember at that point of time, It was around 2:30 a.m. I was walking from a train station back to my home, and I didn't want to get home. I was really depressed. I had nothing, no friends, no money. In my pocket, I had only like maybe $25. And my ex-boyfriend wasn't that supportive. So I decided to, really, it was very dark at the point of time. It was like really alone. And at the point of time, I decided to like really kneel down at the side of the road and really pray. And I really broke down at a point. I really cried at the point of time. I didn't know. And yeah, this is the thing that I needed to tell you, because I felt that this was the reason why I started out selling menstrual pads, and why HighOh was built. So I know customers out there who purchase our menstrual pads, are very supportive, and I need to tell you that you aren't alone, because I had went through the darkest period of my time. And if you really feel that you are going the worst day of your life, there was really nothing, HighOh is here to support you, because no matter what, you can just tag us, DM us, and we will be there for you, Yeah, that's the base story about HighOh menstrual pads. And yeah, I understand that we are coming out with another HighOh book date. That would be another story for another time. And I want to tell you that whatever you feel lonely or anything, you are not alone. Because I was very surprised, because when I was selling my reusable menstrual pads online, apparently there were millions out there that needed these pads. And those were my friends, when I was like 11 and 12 years old, they were laughing at me. It's really not affecting me anymore, because I know that I'm making changes in your life and in HighOh customers' life. So that's the most important thing for me right now. Hit the subscribe button and like our video. And always remember, HighOh is always here for you, and you can lean on us always. See you!